Unit 5, Storage Media Devices. When you complete this unit, you'll be able to identify the different device types, configure a tape library to TSM, prepare tape cartridges for use in a TSM-managed tape library, and check in and check out media for a tape library. Let's look at the components that make up a media library. What we're showing here, which is the most widely used, is a robotic tape library. The robotic arm moves the tapes from their storage slots to a drive where they can be read or written to. We have a device class. We talked about this in a previous unit. The device class is a category that's going to represent the device types that you are going to define for Tivoli Storage Manager. This is with the Define Device Class command. Now remember, your disk device class for a random access storage pool is predefined. That's not what you'll be using in your tape library. You'll need to define a class specifically for the type of tape library you'll be using. The drive is a hardware device. The drive is typically where your sequential media is going to be written to or read from. We're going to talk about some of the common features for setting up a library. You will still need to follow your manufacturer's instructions. Always refer to the IBM website to verify that your device is supported. There's a multitude of supported type tape libraries, for example, pages and pages of them. Be sure you find your device on the support page. IBM devices use IBM device drivers. Non-IBM devices use the Tivoli device driver that comes with TSM. Here's an example of some typical devices, such as an LTO5 tape technology can be used for backing up and archiving your data. You can also remove the tapes and take them off-site for recovery purposes. An example of a tape library would be the IBM TS3500. This is going to be for larger amounts of data. There's also virtual tape libraries. And an example of using a disk device would be the DS6000. If your server is on Windows, this is the command you're going to use to find your device drivers for Microsoft Windows. For default location, use the C Program Files Tivoli TSM/console. Run the command and output it to a text file. Then you can review the file. A fairly new feature with TSM 6.3 is you can use your native drivers without changing the existing driver definition. This is using the TSM Server Communication Windows Pass-Through driver. If you're going to use the Windows Pass-Through driver, you need to make sure you have your native driver for each device. For AIX, the command is lsdev-cc and either disk, tape, or ADSM tape. You can get a worksheet from the IBM website that will help you determine the numbers, your element numbers, for your devices. This is going to be needed when you're configuring your tape library. You can also use element equals auto detect when you define or update your drive. This will help you automatically find your element number. Again, make sure you refer to your manufacturer's instructions. Here are the commands you're going to need for configuring your devices. First, you're going to define your library. Next, you're going to define the tape path for the library. Then you're going to define the drive. And finally, define the path for the drive. We've got examples here where we're using a SCSI type library. In your administrator's reference guide, you'll also find these commands for different types of devices. They'll give examples, so you'll see the basic syntax as well as an example for many of the different device types.